All right, let's see if we're live. Let me check. Yeah, looks like we're live. Namaste, everyone. Welcome to the Cārvāka podcast. I think this is the sixth or seventh monologue. As I do every time, I'm going to start by sharing my views. I'm going to be sharing a few screens today, maybe a lot of screens today, because I want to explain a few things. I want to show what X said, what Y said, what A said, what B said, what do certain words mean. And like always, I will stick to a time frame of 30 minutes where I will first speak for around 30 minutes. You guys can chat amongst each other in the meantime. And then I'll answer your questions. Obviously, I'll start with the super chats first, but I usually try to cover as many questions as I can. So, all right, let's start now. So as you know, today's discussion is Amit Shukla and the Zomato Saga, right? So, who's Amit Shukla? So, let's start with the first screen share of who's Amit Shukla. So, as you see, this is the gentleman here, Amit Shukla, and as you can see, he was the man who basically said the following. This is what he said: just canceled an order on Zomato. They allocated a non Hindu rider for my food. They said they can't change the rider and can't refund on cancellation. I said, you can't force me to take a delivery I don't want. Refund, just cancel. So the story is the man said, I don't like Muslims delivering my food. And his rationale was something like this. So there was a Zomato chat where he says, I have Shravan, I don't need a delivery from a Muslim fellow, so cancel my order. And they said the canceling of the order will whatever cost him 237 rupees or something. And basically he was trying to heckle for a refund. He kind of didn't get the refund, but whatever. So this is the story as of now, and we move from there into part two of this Ronadhuna. So what was part two of this Ronadhuna? It was basically as if Zomato was not happy. Kya hua? So this is what Zomato does. Zomato says, where's the bloody tweet of Zomato? Let me find that bloody tweet of Zomato. Because it's very important to share the screens of this shit, because I don't want to be accused of falsely stating things. So let's go to the screen share again. And now we have, yes, we have it. Okay. So as I was saying, so this is the Zomato thing. Food doesn't have a religion. It is a religion. Zomato virtue signaled as if that was not enough. Dipender Goyal, apparently I think he's the CEO or the boss or the owner or whatever he is of Zomato. He says, we are proud of the idea of India and the diversity of our esteemed customers and partners. We aren't sorry to lose any business that comes in the way of our values. Bravo! Taliyan, taliyan, sab taliyan bajao. Udhar bhi taliyan bajao. And this is basically what led to what I call a good old clusterfuck. So let us look at two places here. First, I'm going to start with the great Amit Shukla, the beacon of Hindutva power today in the country. I mean, अगर अमित जी नहीं होते तो हिंदुत्व खत्म हो जाता था. क्या होता था हिंदुओं का अगर अमित नहीं होते थे? But let us look at what Amit has done here. So Amit has basically said that I hate Muslims, I don't like them, and I don't want a delivery from that Muslim guy. Illegal? Not really. Actually, it's not illegal. That's his personal choice. It's his food in his private space. It's not, Amit is not running a company or anything. So he's actually within his rights to get that. Zomato also is within the rights to say, hey man, we're not going to give it. But is Amit a hero? Is Amit Shukla a hero? I think he's a bigot. Not only is Amit Shukla a bigot, he's actually a pervert. So how do we know he's a pervert? This is how we know Amit Shukla is a pervert. Another screen share. So let's see. What does he say to Taslima Nasreen here? Well, I will say you have great boobs. Hope you like my comment. That was not enough. Then he replies to someone else. Covering of breast started after invaders, Mughals and British, else in India, most places women didn't wear any tops. As if that was not enough. And I think here he was quoting in his own ways Priyanka Chopra, but man, the brother has it's a pattern here. He says lifetime achievement of Priyanka Chopra is boobs and hips. Bravo, Amit. Bravo. So not only is the man a bigot who hates people, the dude has a thing for boobs. He's booby man. So that's what he is. So I don't know what to say about that, but now that we have clearly, convinced ourselves that Amit Shukla is not even a normal person, he is a pervert, that too of the highest order. I mean, you rarely meet perverts like this, But I don't know, the internet seems to find the best of the lot. I mean, you just look for a bigot and, there are bigots galore. So in my view, let us first begin with, was Zomato right in canceling that guy's order? Absolutely. 100%. If I was the owner of Zomato, I would have cancelled that jackass's order myself. And yes, Amit Shukla is a jackass. He's a bigot. He's a pervert. He's everything you want to call him. He is all of those things. The man has no sense. And I don't know what's with him and boobs, man. I just hope he gets a boob job himself. And then, he can just look at himself in the mirror the whole day. Think that's, going to make him happy. And Ashwani says, booby man sahi hai. In the live chat. I couldn't control myself. Hey, Ashwani, how are you doing? So it is what it is. Now let us go to the Zomato part. So Zomato says food has no religion and we believe in the idea of India. तो क्या है कौन सा मजाक लगा के रखा हुआ है see this is where Zomato messed up all Zomato had to do see I mean I'm a company owner I'm sure many of you who are going to watch this or who have watched my podcast in the past or watch in the future you must be small business owners or medium scale business owners or maybe large business owners I don't know when a customer comes to us and demands something that is blatantly bigoted there's a very simple way of saying, no, sir, this is not our company policy. We do not discriminate with our delivery boys, especially on the basis of religion. We will not follow that. And we are sorry that we can't service you in the future if this is going to be your demand. Game over. That's all Zomato had to do. But nah, we live in the age of stupid social media virtue signaling. Zomato had to come up with horrendous, baseless, full of shit replies like, food has no religion. Food does have a religion. And then they opened up a Pandora's box for themselves. How did they open up a Pandora's box for themselves? Actually, more than Zomato's food has no religion jibe, it was the gentleman that Dipender, Shipender, whatever he was, he goes out and says, we stand up for the idea of India. But do you really stand up for the idea of India? Now, I don't know. I came across this, article today on Op India where somebody has shared a video and a screenshot of a Zomato chat. This is going to shock you guys. Just check this out. So Zomato says that they don't do bigotry, right? Look at this chat. Look at Zomato typing to the customer. I deeply regret for the inconvenience caused to you. Next time we will assure that only Hindu delivery boy is come to your address for the delivery order. Now, I obviously think this is a fake chat because I don't think so Zomato is going to write a Hindu delivery boy is come to your address. But I'm just sharing the screenshot because I was shocked personally. It's very easy to say sorry, but I know it's very difficult to be the bigger person and say that it's okay, please forgive us, I'm sorry for this bad experience with us. I really doubt it's Zomato, but Op India has carried it, so I'm just showing it to y'all. We never want our customers to be unhappy. We will surely note this issue and we will take care that it doesn't happen again. Guaranteed fake hai, but I'm just sharing it because it was shared by Op India. I'm actually surprised that they did not look at the bad English, but whatever. This is what is there. It was shocking. If Zomato has carried this and this is real, which I have my doubts because the person on Twitter, I think this is some stupid Twitter handle, and the Twitter handle has apparently claimed and shown a video of the chat too to showcase that, I am speaking the truth, etc., etc., etc. Whatever. So what I'm trying to say is Zomato is stupid. A, because they just had to reject them in a very simple way. Sir, not our policy, over. But they made mistakes by virtue signaling. Why? Because Dipender says we are willing to lose business. His words, right? We aren't sorry to lose any business that comes in way of our values. That means, what are your values, Dipender? Your values are, we stand for democracy, secularism, liberalism, no discrimination against anyone. But hang on. Zomato has business in the Gulf nations, yeah? They have anti-homosexuality laws. Gulf nations basically hang people like me with, because of what we are. The point is, if you stand for these values that you claim that we are against discrimination, why do you do business in these countries, man? Get out of there. Why do you want to waste your time in stupid countries which are anti-homosexuals, anti-atheists, anti-freedom of expression? I mean, their whole edifice, the Gulf nations, their whole edifice is full of bigotry. So why do you do business there, man? I wonder what it is. I mean, see, Zomato would not be asked these questions if Zomato would not have virtue signal. All Zomato had to do, I repeat again, was, sir, not our thing, we're not into this, and move forward. But Zomato had to do it. But to be fair to Zomato, they did explain themselves in this case. So it's all over the place. So Zomato again came up with this letter on Twitter. So they said, again, doubling down, yes, food does not have a religion. Humans make their choice of what to cook and what to eat. Whether or not you are a religious person, we respect all religions and we therefore provide all possible information to make sure that you get the food of your choice. Example, we have tags for Jain food, vegan food, and Navratra thalis, etc., etc., etc. You can read it. To me, the key is the last paragraph. On the other hand, there are no organized units for jhatka meat. As a direct consequence of this gap in authentication, Zomato doesn't yet feature the jhatka tag on its platform, but might do that soon if customers demand that tag from us. Keyword, if customers demand that tag from us. So, with the whole Zomato shenanigan being done, etc., suddenly Twitter Hindutva discovered there is something called jhatka meat. The Punjabis, obviously in Punjab or some parts of Mumbai or Delhi, or maybe even many areas in Himachal Pradesh, they've been living a jhatka life, whatever you want to call it. We consume jhatka meat. It's a very normal thing for us since forever. But suddenly everybody, especially the bloody vegetarians on Twitter, they're like, why aren't you giving a jhatka meat? Oh, pehle tu to khata nahi hai, tere ko kyun padi hai? Tu bada chaudhary bana phir raha hai, vegetarian. सारे वेजिटेरियन चौधरी बने फिर रहे हैं. वी स्टैंड फॉर झटका मीट. अबे पहले खा तो सही. खाता तो है नहीं, फिर बातें कर रहा है. And how do you expect Zomato to create jhatka meat? Very simple. There is no market. It's always the market, stupid. Let's take one example, and I mentioned this on Twitter. Since the last 4 or 5 years, especially 3 years, I was desperately looking. Look, I believe in saving the Bos indicus breed, the cow breed, because I believe it's going extinct. So we should save that breed. I don't care about beef consumptions per se. My reasons for saving the Indic cow, the humped cow, Bos indicus, is because it's a dying breed. We need to save it. And, if people want to eat the Jersey cow as beef consumptions, I personally don't care. I know it's illegal in India, so it's okay. It's illegal, it's illegal. I'm not here to debate that. But the point is, so I was looking for avenues where the Bos indicus could be saved. So, I would buy products which are related to the Bos indicus. In that, I started looking for A2 milk because, that's like the famous thing. And I would struggle to get A2 milk. There would be no consistent supply. I mean, I remember there was this brand called Pathmeda in Bombay, and we would struggle like crazy. There was no delivery pattern, nothing. And then eventually, by experimenting and convincing, it was till the extent that the Pathmeda guy would be like, "Aap mere ko 100 liters apne area mein guarantee karo, then we will deliver A2 milk to you." I literally had to go around guaranteeing 100 liters of a weekly supply to him to get the business at my house. And now you have a brand like Provilac. There are so many other brands that just supply A2 milk like normal milk deliveries are done. I'm consuming it. I know many friends are doing it. So the similar logic applies to Jhatka meat. Now, if you want Zomato or Swiggy or any restaurant to actually give you two options, very simple. Meat eaters, Hindu or non-Muslim meat eaters, or Hindu meat eaters or dharmic meat eaters, start demanding Jhatka meat. When you go to a restaurant, right, you place an order. Okay, I want butter chicken. Sir, I have a question. Is your meat halal or Jhatka? It's a very simple question. If you ask this basic question, and sufficient people start asking it, you know what the restaurant's going to do? It's going to be like, hang on, in the last 15 days, there have been more than 300 people who have come to my restaurant and they suddenly are demanding Jhatka meat and I'm losing this business. You know what? I'm going to switch to Jhatka meat, or I'm going to keep both. This is how the market functions. So stop being whiners, Hindus. Don't whine. Create the market, and you believe you me, you will create the option on Zomato, Swiggy, and every restaurant where you go and demand this thing. It is always the market. The market determines these things. What you have on social media is bunch of whiny little Hindus who complain about every little bloody thing but will not do anything. You want to support Jhatka meat right now? I can give you a website. It's a very simple thing. I'll type it out for you and show it to you. All you people who want to order meat at home, which is Jhatka, I'll show you a website. I think it is called punjabmaratha.com. Yes, and let's see. Okay, I'm going to share the screen for you. By the way, I'm not paid by these suckers. This is free of cost promotion of these guys. I hope they pay me later on. You see this? 100% Jhatka, Punjab Maratha, serving in Mumbai and Pune. So all you people who follow me, who are going to watch this, you live in Mumbai and Pune, you want to consume Jhatka meat, there you go, suckers. Find it out, consume Jhatka meat. Stop whining. You can order this food at home, and what you can do? You want to do some activism, right? Tumhare area mein jitne bhi restaurants hai, go to those restaurants, tell them, you know what? Start sourcing from these people. Start sourcing Jhatka meat. Create a campaign for Jhatka meat. And I'll tell you, if they ask you, why should we consume Jhatka meat and why is halal so bad? That's a good question. And this is how you answer. So we start by explaining what halal is fundamentally. So what are the criterion for halal meat? We got to know, right? What is halal? What makes meat halal? So I'm going to share a screen of what qualifies as halal. There we go. This is standard halal slaughtering norms. I mean, these are from Jamaat Ulema-e-Hind Halal Trust, New Delhi based. By the way, I'm not sourcing some Arabian one. This is a Delhi one. This is the key part. Read this. This is why we should ban it. The primary reason. You see this one. The halal slaughter man must, biggest point, be a Muslim who is of sound mind, mature, and fully understands the Islamic procedure and conditions for slaughtering animals. Leave alone every other argument. This one point about halal makes halal disqualified. Why does it make it disqualified? I'll give you a scenario. I'm a business owner. I'm sure a lot of you must be working in companies or own businesses, small, medium, large, whatever. Imagine a Muslim or a Christian or a Dalit or anyone, right, comes to your factory for a job, and you reject that person for a job as a professional private organization or a government organization, saying You are not qualified for this job because you are a Hindu, a Christian, or XYZ. You will go to jail because that is rejecting someone for something what you call immutable characteristics. Again, another screen share because I need to explain everything to you guys in detail today because that's why I've spent so much time. So what are immutable characteristics? An immutable characteristic is any sort of physical attribute. Actually, it has been expanded in the courts to physical and mental attributes or social attributes, which is perceived as being unchangeable, entrenched and innate. Religion is definitely an entrenched and innate characteristic now. The term is often used to describe segments of the population which share such attributes are contrasted by others or by those attributes and used in human rights law to classify protected groups of people who should be protected from civil or criminal actions which are directed against those immutable characteristics. For example, they've said a legal debate about sexual orientation concerns whether it is an immutable or immutable characteristic. If it is immutable, then homosexuality, bisexuality, asexuality, heterosexuality are all immutable characteristics that naturally occur and cannot be changed. If it is mutable, then those characteristics can be changed. This is obviously a complicated subject. I get all of that. But the point is, in India, the law considers your religious character identity as somewhat of an immutable characteristic, your caste identity as somewhat of an immutable characteristic. And according to Indian law, you cannot discriminate against anyone by saying, we will not give you X, we will not give you Y, we will not give you Z on the basis of your religious or caste identity. So, how can a professional commercial slaughterhouse that is halal certified that means this a set of people in their hiring practices itself. That means a professional private slaughterhouse owned by a Muslim that only sells halal meat, because a Muslim will never sell jhatka meat because it's against Islam, will only hire Muslims because the basic criteria for classifying it as halal is you can only hire a Muslim. Tell me if that is fair. I think it's illegal. I think it is against the values of modernity, secularism, and constitutional democracy. You cannot allow to do that. And if that is allowed, then can somebody tell me why was, Akshay Patra such a huge problem? Why were people going after Akshay Patra all this time? If you remember, Akshay Patra was forced to, do this or that when it came to their personal food preferences. They were forced, right? Because, oh, we are a secular state. We can't do that. We can't do this. We can't allow this. But hang on. But when the same case, like I'm going to show it to you here in Ujjain, I'm going to share the screen for y'all because it's very crucial. I don't want to make any statements by and then get accused later. Look at this. Ujjain, madrasas refuse midday meals from Hindu organizations. Why are they allowed? Akshay Patra ke piche padte hain log. Why are they allowed over here? So I'm not going to read the article, but I'm just sharing. This shit happens in India quite often. These are confusing areas that I'm willing to agree. I'm willing to concede that part. These are confusing areas. We don't have any clarity when it comes to these situations in India. But hang on, you know what? If somebody starts accusing me that, Kushal, you're just a bigot, you just want halal banned. No, actually, I'm not the only one. Halal and kosher, by the way, not just halal, even kosher, has been banned in significant number of countries by now. Let's see. As you see, all the European countries where kosher and halal meat production are now forbidden. You can see a ban on Jewish and Muslim methods of ritual slaughter in Belgium's northern Flemish region went into effect from January 1st. 20,000 Jews. This is just another step in a large trend across Europe, which we mapped out below with individual restrictions and Jewish population numbers. You see these? It's clearly the red one is ritual. The dark red one is the ritual slaughter banned, and the light red one is the ritual slaughter highly regulated. These are all modern, Western, secular republics. And their reasons are what? Just read this. These policies have been in works for a while. The European Union countries, the post-World War II discussion on ritual slaughter began in 1998. Directive titled the European Convention for the Protection of Animals for Slaughter, which required stunning before slaughter, except in the case of religious slaughter. Because of this, some countries banned unstunned ritual slaughter, which includes both kosher and halal methods of ritual slaughter. This became a larger campaign continent-wide. In 2004, the European Food Safety Authority wrote that due to the serious animal welfare concerns associated with slaughter without stunning, pre-cut stunning should always be performed. 2009, the EU slaughter regulation permitted religious slaughter without stunning. Because there is no European Union-wide regulation on slaughter without stunning, individual countries have decided for themselves whether to permit or ban kosher slaughter. You see the beauty of this article? They don't mention halal slaughter at all. They're so bloody politically correct. They use the Jews as bait. Total Jews 20,000 the unhone likha ek jagah pe. There are hardly any Jews there. They're more Muslims now. But they're so scared because they don't want to hurt the Muslim. So they use the Jews in this case, and I'm telling you, this is nothing but using the Jews to do these things. Good, I don't care. If Jewish slaughter is unethical, ban that too. But let me tell you, the Jewish slaughterhouse, I don't know how much of the insistence would be that it has to be done by a Jew. I'm not aware of kosher laws, so I'm going to stick out of that. But I know halal laws, and I've shown you a certified source from New Delhi that clearly states that halal can only happen when there is a Muslim doing it. So I think India should ban halal. If that means India should ban kosher too, ban kosher. The only slaughter houses that should be allowed are A, legal, no illegal slaughterhouses of any kind, halal or jhatka. B, get them to follow humane slaughter laws, where stunning is the first thing you do. If that breaks your religious sentiments, cut your animal at home in your private space as per halal laws, but no company should be allowed to follow halal laws, because if you follow halal laws, they are against modern secular values, and a modern secular state cannot, should not, and will not follow it. But as if all of this was not enough, you can never discount the stupidity of the Indian state to stay out of news. So what happens today? So I'm going to share a screen again. Let's see. The MP police, the great Madhya Pradesh police, check this out. Source is ANI. Amit Singh, SP Jabalpur, we have issued a notice. It will be served to Amit Shukla, Twitter user who cancelled food order over delivery man's religion. He'll be warned. Dhamki. If he tweets anything which is against ideals of constitution, action will be taken. He is on surveillance. This is the condition of India. We are a country full of idiots. We are a country full of useless people who don't understand the law, who don't respect the law, who don't respect anything, basically. Anything. I stand for the free speech of Amit Shukla. I started by calling him booby man and a pervert and a bigot. And I stick to that. But in spite of calling him all that, Amit Shukla will never be my friend. But I stand for the freedom of expression of Amit Shukla. He has every right to be a bigot. Hate speech is part of free speech. I hate Muslims, I hate Hindus should be allowed. Should we accept them in the society? No. We should not talk to them. But they should be allowed to express their hatred, come what may. You may not like it. It doesn't matter. It does not matter. And now I want to connect it to another issue. A lot of people were telling me, you know what, Kushal, you don't get it. तुमको ये केस नहीं समझ पड़ रहा है immutable characteristics का. लोग अमेरिका में जो गे बेकर था, उसको साइड किया कोर्ट्स ने उसको. पहले केस समझो. What was the gay bakery case in America? The gay bakery case was a homosexual couple went around looking, first of all. They were really looking for a scandal. And they finally found one baker who said, this is what the person said. And again, my source is CNN. I'm using a left-wing source purposely because I should not be accused later on of using a right-wing source. So this is what the CNN article on the case says. And this is what their whole point was. Listen, this is the key part. The Alliance Defending Freedom Senior counsel Christian Wagoner, who represented Phillips, placed the ruling. Jack serves all customers. He simply declines to express messages or celebrate events that violate his deeply held beliefs. Wagner said in a statement, creative professionals who serve all people should be free to create art consistent with their convictions without the threat of government punishment. Now I'm going to explain to you guys what happened. So this couple went there and said, will you bake a cake for us? He said, yes. He said, we're gay. He said, no issues. I'll bake a cake for you if you're gay. It doesn't really bother me if you're gay or not. Then they say, it has to be a gay wedding cake. That's when this guy said no. What he said was, I'll bake a cake for you. You can have the cake, but I'm not going to write happy marriage or whatever, or I'm not going to put two men because that's against my religious beliefs. That's where they dragged him to the courts and the court ruled in their favor. If he would have said, I'm not going to bake a cake for you because you're a homosexual, then we go into the immutable characteristics area, which I shared with you in the beginning. Then the courts might not have ruled in favor of this bakery guy in Colorado, and he would have lost the case. So these nuances matter. These are very subtle nuances, but you know what? These matter. And I want to also share a few screens about people who are defending. I have to say, I was abhorred and disgusted that I stand with Amit was actually a hashtag shared on Twitter. I mean, what kind of weird messages are this? This guy says, I never trust anyone with a beard, without mustache and a topi on the head. Religious bigots. We don't want to know what they are being taught in madrasas and masjids. What is wrong with these people? So the logic basically I got a lot of times on Twitter was, I will not trust X because look what happened. X tried to poison Prasad of a mandir. So I cannot trust any X. It's stupid. It's bigoted because, Hindus also commit crimes. So imagine if somebody uses the same logic on you and says, you know what, I have read these news about these Jai Shri Ram types. I can't trust all Hindus. How do you expect to function in a society like this? I want to share another screen of some reply I got on Twitter. These are just ridiculous replies. I mean, ridiculous to the core. So, what did I say? श्रावण में मुस्लिम से डिलीवरी अलाउड नहीं है क्या? रीजंस क्या है? ये नया एंगल सुना है मैंने. कौन सा स्क्रिप्चर ये कहता है? वैसे हिंदुइज्म इज प्लूरल मगर इट डज नॉट एक्सेप्ट डिलीवरीज फ्रॉम मुस्लिम्स इन श्रावण. ये नया एंगल है. Look at his guy. His choice. He's paying for his food. If he doesn't want mullahs delivering his food, it's his choice. Zomato on their part can refuse if they can't fulfill such a. Are you going to force a Turkey pundit to receive delivery from mullahs? Fair enough. He's got a point. But then I ask the same thing. Would the same logic and reasoning apply to Dalits too? Think, what kind of a society do you want to build and nurture? If this is our definition of a society, boy, we are in trouble. We are in trouble. We are in serious trouble if this is the kind of attitude we're going to have. We cannot hate each and every Muslim. We simply cannot do that. We cannot work like that in a society. It's wrong. It's bigoted. We should not support it. And to each and every one of you, see what has happened to Amit Shukla and learn from that lesson. And sorry, I forgot to show one more screen to you. It's not just Europe that has a problem with halal. I recently, thanks to somebody on Twitter, came across a petition in Australia. Ban forced halal certification being imposed on all Australians. This was another one on change.org. So I just want to share it for a fact. But now I want to come back to this. All of you who are acting stupid here on social media, you might get 4 आने का fame like Amit Shukla got. उसके ऊपर एक discussion भी हो गया. But there are 3-4 things you're doing. You're damaging Indian society for good. You're actually an active participant in damaging Indian society. Don't do that. 2, if you do that in a country with silly laws like India has, see what has happened to Amit Shukla. 3, this will not stop here. You know how it can affect you? Let me share another story of a gentleman called Carl Benjamin, or as they know him on YouTube as Sargon of Akkad. So what happened with this guy was, he basically he did not even make a video. Hang on. He was on some other unknown YouTube channel. This is the guy, Sargon of Akkad. I'm sharing it. So what happened with him was, he was on this YouTube channel, and he's a big YouTuber. He has, I think, 1 million+ subscribers. This is an old article. And then he made some stupid comment about racist, and he used the N word when he was talking about racists, and he called them white N's, and then they went after him. And then they went after him like a pack of wolves. And they got him, and his money was being sourced. That was his livelihood from this portal Patreon. Then he was like, okay, मैं Patreon पे चले जाता हूँ तो मैं Subscribe Star पे जाता हूँ. So he went to this another portal called Subscribe Star. He goes on Subscribe Star. The payment portal for Subscribe Star bans him. Subscribe Star says, no, you can make money over here. But the portal, the credit card portal or the payment portal, they refuse to deal with him. This is the last topic that I want to talk to you about, and then I will go on to your questions. This is serious. What are the lines we can draw in this? I think Zomato was perfectly all right in denying a bigot as per their company policies. But can banks deny them? Obviously, we need to define what is level of bigotry. I mean, obviously, it's ISIS, you can't. If it's any terror organization, you can't. You have to deny them all financial access. But this is just your average daily bigot who just dislikes someone because of their immutable characteristics. Can you deny that? I mean, imagine tomorrow Amit Shukla के जैसे लोगों को क्रेडिट कार्ड बोल देंगे हम तुमको क्रेडिट कार्ड नहीं देंगे, बैंक्स बोल देंगे हम तुमको बैंक अकाउंट नहीं खोलने देंगे, पूरा वर्ल्ड डिजिटल हो गया, ये आदमी सर्वाइव कैसे करेगा? These are serious issues. So I'm telling all of you, you might carry bigoted beliefs. Don't share them on social media, bigots. If you share them on social media, I am telling you, these companies are coming after you like a pack of wolves. Don't say you were not warned by me, because your careers might get destroyed, your life might get destroyed. These companies are going to come after you like anything. What happened to Sargon of Akkad was just a trailer. Obviously, that led to people like Jordan Peterson and Dave Rubin to even start their own portal and panel. I know the market's going to take care of it, but don't be surprised if these people have their way. You are going to be screwed royally. Do not support bigotry of any kind. Do not support bigots of any kind. And if any bigot is watching this right now, listen, jackass, don't do it. Just get away. Don't express your views. Be more sensible, because the day is not far away that you're going to be kicked in your balls for being a bigot financially. So just think, you get demonetized on YouTube is not a big deal. But if your banking services are taken away from you, which these people in the West are trying desperately, you're screwed. So think 1,000 times, do a cost benefit analysis of all these things. And you know what? I have broken my promise. I've actually spoken for 38 minutes. I apologize for that, but I had to cover too much area. I actually had to cut one screen out anyways, which was an interesting angle, which I found. But anyways, that is for some other day. Now I'm going to go back to your questions. So I'm going to start with the super chat. Okay. This monologue is haram. Thanks, Nimish, for the super chat. And now I'm going to go from start to bottom and try to answer your questions. Okay. Hi, Vaibhav Kashyap. I'm doing fine. Why doesn't the media report cases when Hindus are victims as compared to vice versa? I disagree with you, Adi Sab, now. One section of the media does not report those cases. Now you have Times Now, you have Republic, you have Op India, you have Swarajya, you have these websites, they have their reach. You can't complain now. Every side plays to their echo chamber. So this complaint, I don't agree with you. Adi asked me, are you the CEO of Op India? I just want to state it on the record. I have nothing to do with Op India. I just voluntarily helped the Op India by hosting a weekly podcast called the Op India Podcast. I have nothing to do with Op India. I don't have any share. I don't have any money. I don't get any money. Yes, I contribute to Op India as a voluntary user and a viewer of Op India. I like to support them. But that's all. I have nothing to do with Op India. अभिनंदन को अवार्ड कब मिलेगा? कौन सा अभिनंदन? वो पायलट तो मुझे पता नहीं. लोगों का खाना चुरा के खाना भी जोमेटो की वैल्यूज है यार. जोमेटो के वो ड्राइवर ने मिस्टेक की थी. जोमेटो आई थिंक ट्राई टू कोर्स करेक्ट बाय पुटिंग सील्स ऑन द पैक्स नाउ. सो आई थिंक आई डोंट नो व्हाट वी कैन डू. बट ही स्पार्क्ड अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट डिबेट. वहां पे क्रेडिट देना पड़ेगा बंदे को. काय की इंपॉर्टेंट डिबेट स्पार्क की है? निर्मला सीतारमण ने सीएसआर की इतनी घटिया अनाउंसमेंट की है, बीजेपी इकोनॉमी की वाट लगा रही हो, तुम बोल रहे हो यार ये इंपॉर्टेंट डिबेट है. क्या बात कर रहे हो यार, ये तो उल जुलूल डिबेट है, मगर करनी पड़ती है. आंख के नीचे कितने काले गड्ढे हैं, थोड़ा योगा करो कुशल भाई. हाँ, मैं योगा करता हूँ. Would that Muslim delivery boy deliver pork dish if any Hindu customer had ordered it? Varun Gaur, I don't know if he would have ordered it, but if Zomato, I'm sure Zomato, if I was a hiring guy and if somebody said I can't deliver this, well, then you're not a useful employee for me and I'm not going to hire you. It's very simple. Zomato can fire him then. Okay, Siddharth Datta, has the budget affected your business in any manner? Siddharth, honestly, the budget has not affected our business. The small scale industries are doing pretty well. I'm not an expert on economics, but honestly, इतना कुछ problem नहीं है. I don't know what these, like they are talking about it, but I don't know. I genuinely don't know. मेरे को economics समझनी पड़ती है, मैं बाहर रहूँगा. Fundamental समझ पड़ते हैं, मगर ये जो number crunching होती है ना, everybody gives you charts and then they justify their own thing by their charts. So अपने को तो समझ नहीं पड़ता. Hindu palayan is the biggest threat Hindus are facing from Muslims. I don't know about that. I think again that is fear mongering. Until there is no free speech, these things will exist. Yeah, I agree with you. Get Amit Thadani to discuss the new medical bill passed in Rajya Sabha. Siddharth, okay. Send me a copy, man, Siddharth, if you can, on Twitter. Poonam Abi, I actually, for a change, agree with Poonam Abi. Hindus have been themselves responsible for the jhatka meat not being available. They were too busy becoming secular, saying khana meat to khana hai, halal or jhatka. So Harsha Aditya says he prefers jhatka meat. Good. By the way, I don't trust vegetarians with their advice on any kind of meat. So yeah, bahar ro vegetarians. Unka bas chale to sara hi non-veg band kar dein. So I'm sorry. Muslims will not let lab-grown meat. They will still prefer halal ghost. Absolutely, Varun Gaur, because lab-grown meat, I don't know what kind of mental gymnastics they would have to come up with for lab-grown meat. So I don't know. Tushar Oja says, dude, people are whining at hypocrisy. I don't think many care about jhatka or halal. No. People just whine on Twitter. They don't have anything. They are hypocrites themselves. How can you be a believing Hindu and eat meat? Well, I'm a Cārvāka, I'm a Hindu, but my darshan has no compulsion of not eating meat. तो तुम तुम्हारे दर्शन की बात करो भाई, मेरे को क्या लेना देना है, वरुण गौर. Okay, let me see. You guys are talking about self-service. I can skip them. All right. Kushal, if equality were the criteria, then you will have to ban. Ban what, Ramesh? Can you retype it again? Okay, नीचे लिखा है. You will have to ban because the discrimination between the kuffar and the believer is quite real and quite substantial. Ramesh, I'm personally for banning halal slaughter completely. I do not believe halal. I believe any religious practice or value set that does not, comply with modern secular democratic values should be shunned when it is affecting our basic fundamental rights or there is any kind of discrimination that I described earlier. I believe halal meat, the conceptual existence of halal meat, is against what we call, fair play. It is actively discriminating against communities by the garb of saying this is my religious practice. I'm sorry. If then sati was a religious practice too. We did not allow it, right? We banned it. Similarly, halal has to be banned. There is no other question. I don't support it. Harshit Pant, does the discrimination also apply to private businesses? Harshit, you cannot discriminate as a private business. I'm surprised आपके ऊपर SC ST atrocities act आ जाएगी. आप अगर किसी को हायर नहीं करोगे बोल के कि आप दलित हो, आपको जेल में डाल देंगे लोग. आप नहीं कर सकते हो ये अनलॉफुल है इंडिया में. नॉट जस्ट मंदिर, कोई भी बिजनेस ऐसे नहीं कर सकता है. आपको जेल में डाला जाएगा, आपकी बैंड बच जाएगी. यहाँ पे एक रिलीजन स्लॉटर हाउसेज चला रहा है उसको करके. मैं तो सिंपल बोलता हूं ना, व्हाई हैजंट एनीबॉडी फाइल्ड अ केस अगेंस्ट ऑल प्राइवेट हलाल स्लॉटर हाउसेज अंडर द SC/ST अट्रॉसिटीज एक्ट? दे कांट हायर देम ना, बिकॉज दे आर नॉट मुस्लिम. मारो केस इनके ऊपर. अरे हिंदू स्टूपिड है, हिंदुओं को आता नहीं है लड़ाई कैसी लड़ना. Quran says that earth is flat. We should respect this view of the Quran. Oh God. Okay, I'm gonna ignore the comment by TN Swami. Swami, seriously. Since can discrimination based on religion be practiced in private property and private businesses? What law is followed? I just answered that, I think. Do you feel Nirmala Sitaraman is being over criticized, or are her critics right? So that I don't know, man. I like I told you, I like to stay away from questions of economics, etc., etc. I just don't get it. I honestly think economics is a pseudoscience. I have said it to my good friend, dear friend Harsh Madhusudan too, and he chuckles all the time when I say that. But honestly, man, I just think it is a bloody sham. It's ridiculous. I don't get it. I think it's stupid. I have never understood economics. Totally agree, but we need to ask tough questions to Muslim theology, like Kolkata Quran petition, Muslim theology. I again believe that the word I had given, I don't want to speak a lot about this. Nitin, I've written an article. It's being legally vetted. If the legal vetting gives it a thumbs up, it will come out on Op India. If it doesn't come on Op India, and no blame of Op India, by the way, at the end of the day, legal vetting is legal vetting, because I am actually pushing for some serious points, considering the Kolkata Quran petition in mind. So if that comes out, it will answer a lot of your questions. Okay, Ramesh Suresh. Shouldn't the right wing file a PIL to classify Islam as a political ideology like communism, thereby rendering it open to scrutiny and criticism? No, actually, Ramesh, that's a bad idea. That's not good legal advice. We need to file based on specific. Look, you need to identify places where I believe Islam is clearly at odds with the Indian Constitution in two places: freedom of expression, call to violence. There are too many verses where there are directly call to violence. And why I believe if somebody defends, says the Old Testament also does it, the key difference between even within the Abrahamic religions, leave the Eastern philosophies aside, the darshanas aside. We don't say our books are literal words of God or the final word of God. We have a lot of leeway. We don't take them literally. But even within the Abrahamic doctrines, right? Judaism, Christianity, Islam, Mormonism, the four. Only Islam is the religion that says it is the final and absolute word of law, God, Allah, and full stop, punctuation mark, tak, humko follow karna padega. We cannot change any damn thing in it. They say that. Christianity does not. You can read the works for Maimonides, for Jews. You can read the works of Thomas Aquinas for the Christians. They don't make that claim. That's why they have been juggling around with the violent verses. But the Quran says it's literal, and if it's literal, the violent verses have to go because they are a direct call to violence. It violates the freedom of expression criteria. I have given my views on halal too. I believe in these two areas they genuinely violate fundamental provisions of a democracy. They should not be allowed to do that. Okay, Jihan. Hey Jihan, how are you? In the US, Chase Bank shut someone's account for being part of Proud Boys. Jihan, that's wrong. That's what I'm saying. That's the exact thing that I had mentioned. This is my worry, because in a digital economy, if you don't have any avenue of using money, then you're stuck. I mean, if Proud Boys are not terrorists, and this is what worries me, what the left is doing is they're throwing racist, terrorist, fascist, these words at everyone, and everybody gets clubbed, and then the words lose meaning, and everybody is one, and then these companies will just ban these people. I don't want this Amit Shukla to be banned by any bank. He needs to have a job, because it's not just him, it's his entire family that's dependent on him, right? He might be a bigot and I'll call him an asshole, but I don't want his life to be ruined at the same time. So this is why I'm saying I'm really worried. So Ramesh says, or if enough people believe in something silly, can we invent a religion where prenuptial agreements is a religious requirement? Absolutely, Ramesh, you can. In fact, if enough number of people believe in a religion, the criteria I think is you need to have a sacred book or a book that you follow, and X number of people need to believe in it, and it gets declared a religion. It's kind of silly. No, you don't need any divine providence or some sort. Siddharth, does Modi ji have the guts to remove 35A if all these rumors are fake and nothing will happen? Siddharth, I don't know. I don't go by rumors. We'll know when it happens, right? I think August mein clear ho jayega. Troop movement kyun ho rahi hai, kis liye ho rahi hai. We'll know. So Jehan says corporate censorship is already here from all sorts of companies, MasterCard and Stripe, to be the payment processors for Gab as well. They had to get a pawn payment processor. I know about this too. So yeah, that's why I raised the point. If he removed 35A, then despite bad economics, he deserves a standing ovation. I don't know if he deserves a standing ovation, maybe a pat on the back. What about corporations that bend the knee during Ramzan? I don't know, man. What about those corporations? We need to not support them. Pepe Kek. Another super chat from Nimish. Thanks a lot, Nimish. That move by MP police is wrong on so many levels. Nobody filed a complaint, no charges pressed, just a random SP giving warnings like a local gunda. Exactly. That's what worries me so much. So much. It scares me. How can the cops do that? Or imagine, ये angle किसी ने देखा है कि नहीं? कांग्रेस रूल्ड स्टेट थी भाइयों. कांग्रेस की स्टेट है. कांग्रेस. इसके लिए बोलता हूं 295A 153A निकलवाओ, क्योंकि कांग्रेस वापस आई ना पावर में. अगर 20-25 स्टेट में आ गई, चलो 20 छोड़ो 15 स्टेट में आ गई, तुम्हारी जिंदगी हराम बॉस. तुम हिंदू बेवकूफ हो. All you Hindus are stupid who support 295A and 153A. Time and again this law is. अबे बीजेपी की स्टेट में और ऋचा भारती की बैंड बजी, तो कांग्रेस की स्टेट में तो देखो पुलिस सामने से कर रही है, क्योंकि उनको मालूम है the chief minister is not going to say anything to him. If this was a BJP chief minister, he should have wrapped his knuckles. Boss, what are you doing? Kamal Nath is going to do that. Kamal Nath will be pandering to his Muslim vote bank. So like morons, Hindus, stop supporting 295A and 153A. Don't be an idiot. You never win this battle. You make no sense. Harshit, so if I don't allow someone inside my house, then I go to jail? No, man. House is private property, but businesses are not given that privilege. I know that they're not. But in your house, if you don't allow someone, it's okay. Like it's a rental property, but you can't say तुम दलित हो इसके लिए मैं तुमको रेंट पे नहीं दूंगा जगह. I mean, बेवकूफ नहीं होना, नहीं तो तुम्हारे ऊपर भी केस हो जाएगा SC/ST Atrocities Act में. What you will have to say is, I will not give you on rent because I don't like the terms of your agreement. I don't like your rent. Whatever. You have to come up with reasons which are valid under the law. I'm telling you, most people don't know it. Poonam Abi, thanks for the super chat. If you have any question, Poonam, I'll be happy to answer it. That's a good idea. Poonam says Hindus must apply en masse to work in the halal slaughterhouses and then slap them with a lawsuit depending on the response. Good idea, Poonam. Impressed with your idea. Actually, I had suggested this indirectly in my Twitter thread. Uday says, I know cases from the West of Muslim flight attendants refusing to serve alcohol to passengers and Muslim shop attendants refusing alcohol pork products. I think if they're a Muslim airline, whatever, if they're a non-Muslim airline and they hire such people, they're idiots. I won't hire such a person. Tomorrow, if somebody says, this is against my religion, I'm not going to serve a customer. I'm not going to hire you then. I'll find a person who's good enough. I should be allowed to fire that person. Poonam says, Kushal, this is for you saying economics is a pseudoscience. You just made my day. Many of the sciences and ologies being peddled as sciences. यहाँ पे हम disagree करते हैं. तुम homeopathy को support करती हो. Saurabh, thanks for the super chat. Do you plan to host a public talk for your subscribers? Public talk? Man, the whole point about this channel is that I can reach more people. Public talk ka main kya karunga? I mean, I think this is a far better way of reaching people. But if people want me to do a public talk, I mean, I can do it. They have to invite me, bring me over there, and I'll talk if that's needed. Web of Kashyap, can we ever remove Article 15? Oh, well, 35 ये तो निकालो. 15 तो बहुत दूर की बात है. Ramakrishna Mission is a denomination thus protected under Article 826. Yes, Ramakrishna Mission is considered a denomination under the Hindu religion. So yeah, but when they applied in the courts to get a separate religious status, I think they were denied. I don't know what were the reasons. I don't remember the court judgment properly. Where do you stand on the Second Amendment in a lawless country? Like sometimes you feel a weapon. No, my point is not that. I think the Second Amendment is a good idea. Look, there were two ways of looking at it. The Europeans and the Americans looked at it differently. The Americans came out of a freedom struggle where the whole idea about that was we don't trust the state, so we need to arm ourselves. And that's how the Second Amendment came into. Usually most democracies say that, you know what, the monopoly of violence should be with the state. But I am pro Second Amendment because I believe if you're a responsible gun owner, nobody should ban it. And but I don't like the way Americans get the guns. I think the law should be much stricter. To say that mental health cannot be defined is just wrong. I don't agree with many Republicans who say that. They find a straw man argument to generally deny most, like should a diagnosed schizophrenic be allowed to hold a gun? I don't think so. So there are many areas like that. I like the Aussie and the New Zealand gun laws where, you know, people are checked and monitored. After a while, you have to go on doing it. So that's the thing. So I am pro Second Amendment, but I wish. And India, you can own a gun, man. Who said you can't own a gun in India? You just have to go through a lot of tedious processes. That's all it is. It's not like India mein hum gun nahi own kar sakte. There are many. I know 2-3 gun owners myself, by the way. So it's not like that. Ramesh, organize a meetup for your followers, please. Oh man, I don't know how to do that. I don't know. I'll meet you guys. Just if you are in Mumbai, you figure out, make a group, tweet at me. I'll join that group and we'll meet. Not a big deal. Okay, Harsh Aditya. Kushal bhai, one of my friend was telling that alcohol must be banned. It is against Hindu ethos. Nik, main to pita nahi hu. I don't drink. But let me tell you, all the beodas are going to be very unhappy with your friend. And it is not against Hindu ethos. Hindu ethos aisa kuch nahi hai. David Gomes. How is economics a pseudoscience? Well, beyond certain fundamental principles, David, about the market and macroeconomics principles, beyond a point, I just think it's a pseudoscience because most of the claims it makes are under so many caveats that I'm sorry, it just doesn't work. And I don't agree with it. I'm not saying it's a total pseudoscience. I'm saying partially, sometimes it sounds like a pseudoscience to me. I mean, so I don't know. Uday, Kushal, if a company don't hire a Muslim for being a Muslim, or if they fire one for following his religion, the company could be sued for being non-secular. Happened to a UK salon. I know, but here's the thing, Uday, like I gave you a case. Can I fire a Muslim employee or a Hindu employee for not serving another religious person because of their religious identity? What do you do in that case? That is the key scenario here. That to me is the key scenario. So you cannot discriminate in the case of an employee who is discriminating against someone else for the same reasons. No, you can fire them. So I don't know this particular case. If you can share the link today, I'll quickly read it up and I'll give you my answer too. So it's that. And you guys can fight about homeopathy. मेरा काम सिर्फ आग लगाना था. Blinky Blue. Apart from all the serious shit, वो वड़ा पाव खाया भाई, तुमने 80 रुपीज दिए, 4 रुपए बच गए थे ना, तो मैं कैसे खाता था? By the way, thanks for the super chat. कल खा लूंगा मैं. At Kushal, the Namo Sarkar guy on Twitter is an unintentional meme. Hey man, that guy is so weird. I mean, his obsession with boobs. Seriously, I'm telling you, that man needs to get a boob job himself. He can look at himself the whole day. देखेगा अपने boobs को खुद mirror में बैठ के. I mean, he is booby man. That's all he is, booby man. Okay. Kushal bhai, would you rechange your Cārvāka position if someone proves you that Hindu Dharma is indeed a divine religion? Absolutely, my man. I will change my position. I am more than happy. Uday, I think people who are requesting you to meet them probably mean you should do a Google Hangout with them like you used to do. Ah, that one. Yeah, that. Man, I was talking to people offline, but then what happens is time hi nahi milta hai. Honestly, I don't get time. Or what I can do is I do one podcast a week. I can cut down one. Like I do 3 podcasts a month instead of 4, where there is 1 monologue and 2 chats with guests. And then I can do 1 offline discussion where nothing is recorded, nothing. I'll just talk to 10 of you, 8 of you offline. I can do that. I'll be more than happy to do that. I actually used to love talking to people offline. So no problem. Kushal bhai, what do you think about gender neutral laws? I support gender neutral laws, but there is some problem in that. See, I get it where you're coming at. You're talking about 498A. I think it's a very harsh law. I get it. But Harsha Aditya, this is the problem we face in India. We make laws as per the atrocities women face in rural areas. Believe me, I've worked in villages. I have seen horrifying things. When you see that, you feel, yaar, ye 498A bura nahi hai. Then you come to urban India, where we become liberal, open, more modern. And there you see women misusing the same law to screw men up. And then you're like, what the hell do I do? I think the situation in this is we can't have absolutely gender neutral laws in a country as, to be very honest, patriarchal and misogynistic as India today, right now. We should move towards that. That should be the ultimate aim. We can make 498A less draconian, where men's lives are not destroyed. I have seen personally, I have heard 2 stories of men being thrown into jail under fraud cases. It was scary what happened to them. Scary. I mean, I was shivering when I heard their story. I was like, my God, kya karte hain log? So yes, it was scary, but you know what? I still believe thoda औरतों के फेवर में laws होने चाहिए. I'm sorry if I've heard, I have not stood by your expectations, but I believe we need to be the law should be slightly pro-women. I know I'm going to disappoint a lot of men. Okay, Navneet Singh, unless people see liberal Muslims calling out for reforms in the religion, this bigotry will only flare up. One-sided harmony will not work. Navneet, the problem is our media doesn't cover the liberal Muslims. There are liberal voices. Arif Muhammad Khan is just one. There are many liberal voices. We need to start sharing them. But the problem with the Hindutva side is they can't take criticism of their own ideas from the liberal Muslims too. The moment a liberal Muslim does that, whataboutery शुरू हो जाती है. भाई वो तो अपने चीज को तो क्रिटिसाइज कर ही रहा है ना. उसने अगर तुमको थोड़ा बोल दिया तो तुम इतना नाराज क्यों हो जाते हो? You need to learn to take criticism. Our problem is we can't take criticism from the liberal side. शुरू हो जाएंगे तुम्हारे को देखो. अरे भाई वो लोग कर रहे हैं. So I think there are good liberal Muslims. It is a problem, definitely. But I think it's a fixable problem. Does the law protect people for being fired because of political ideology, like being communist or a Hindutva supporter? I hope so. I'm not a lawyer, so I'm not well versed on that. I hope so is my answer. Ramesh, do you think the economically right-wing guys are getting a raw deal in this administration, even worse than UPA? Are they getting a raw deal? Yes. Is it worse than UPA? No. Come on, man. Come on. The BJP is just following Congress policies. They're not bringing in anything new. CSR was not made compulsory by BJP. They're just doubling down on it. CSR was made compulsory by the Congress. So we need to realize these things. The BJP is just like the Congress in these things. And I don't know why you guys thought they were not. You were wrong. I just tweeted today. This is the entire Indian political spectrum. Every party is extreme left to center left on economics, and every party on social issues is conservative. They just pander to a different conservative. So the Akalis pander to the Sikh conservatives, the Hindu conservatives are pandered to by BJP, Muslim Christians are taken by ye kaun hai? Congress, Samajwadi, All these, the linguistic conservative chauvinists are taken care by the linguistic parties. The caste conservatism and the castists are taken care by, the caste parties. But this is the country. We don't have any fiscal conservative party in India. वो जो थी वो स्वराज्य पार्टी मीनू मसानी और इन लोगों की वो क्या थी, that party did not even survive, man. So that's not even called that. So it is what it is. This country is pretty shitty in that sense. You can't change it. All right. Where did it go? Okay. I've been hearing recently due to GST and other taxes that business have been slowing down. I don't think so. GST has slowed down business. Like any disruption, initially GST did cause a lot of disruption in businesses because systems have to change. There are new laws. People are not used to it. But I think GST is not the cause for any slowdown right now. Maybe the government's bad policies could be slowing down things here and there. But honestly, beyond that, and I don't know how much of this slowdown is also caused by the global slowdown. We have to realize that also. We have to take that into consideration. But the government could do basic things like not tax the rich, make paperwork simpler, things like that. But the government is not doing that because the government's priorities are in the wrong place. But hey, what do you do? That finance guy, please do another podcast with Harsh Gupta ji about the recent budget and its ramifications on the stock market. Sure, I'll talk to Harsh. If he's willing to do it, we'll do it. Ramesh Suresh, shout out to Devendra Fadnavis for trying to push for the Hyperloop in India. We can become an exporter of this technology. Yeah, good. I think even the rate at which the metro work is happening in Mumbai, credit needs to be given to the BJP in that front. It's happening at a rate of knots. Itna fast kaam ho raha hai, it's very good. Why do you think the Naxals are a greater danger to India than the jihadis? Just look at the number the Naxals kill and look at the numbers the jihadis kill. The Naxals and the supporters of their ideology are your professors, are your intellectuals, are your influencers. The jihadis are not your influencers. Even the vilest of vile left-wing apologists of Islamism does not say jihadism is right. Naxalism is a bigger threat than jihadism. Doesn't mean jihadism is not a threat. I'm saying Naxalism is the biggest threat statistically. I'm just speaking the truth. Maybe people don't like it, but I can't change that, right? What did Modi mean when he said minimum government, maximum governance? He meant तुम गधे हो, तुम मेरी बातों में आ गए. How mad are you about these environmental jihadists getting the coastal road project on hold? For that, you need to go and watch my rant on the last Op India podcast, and you will know my feelings in detail. I don't want to rant again. You should really watch it. It was a passionate rant. Is there any other question? Someone please make Modi ji understand Laffer curve. मैं खुद समझ जाऊंगा तो उनको भी समझा दूंगा. मेरे में नहीं है भाई. जो इकोनॉमिस्ट हैं, द ग्रेट इकोनॉमिस्ट, वो समझाए मोदी जी को. I don't know about that. I don't want to comment on that. How desperately do you think we need police and judicial reforms in India? Because I feel the rest is all just theory. Well, Yeti. By the way, Indian Army, मुझे Yeti मिल गया. मेरे लाइव चैट पे Yeti है. So I just wrote an open letter, Yeti, on Op India to Anurag Kashyap and the other 111 celebrities and activists. I stated statistics and you can look at them. I mean, I believe they are the single largest problem in India, along with the bad economic policies of the BJP, is police reforms. We can get rid of a lot of problems. Ramesh Suresh, don't you think that Hindutva crowd needs to focus on building their own academic institutions? अपनी क्यों build करना? BJP को बोलो take over government में है, take over the institutions that are there, hire the right people and put them. बाकी रमेश, let me tell you one thing very honestly, हमारी side में इतने intellectuals हैं भी नहीं. We like to think, we actually don't have. जो हैं उनको बिठा देते हैं. मकरंद परांच पे हैं, बाकी सब हैं. Rajiv Malhotra is teaching a course in Delhi University, I know. So there are people. Okay, Uday says Kushal, tiger numbers in India have increased. It was the largest wildlife census undertaken. Have you seen Man vs Wild program on Discovery before? और ना मैं देखने वाला हूँ, ना मुझे देखना है. Good, tiger बढ़ गया है. ठीक है यार, मैं नहीं देखता मोदी जी के प्रोग्राम. I don't care. I don't. Do you think our education system has made Hindus impotent in a way that the Hindus don't bother fighting for themselves or are just lazy? No, I don't think so. That I think our education system is mediocre, but not it has not made us impotent. Man, don't call Hindu pluralism as impotency. I hate it when people say being plural is being a dhimmi, being nice is stupid. No, we are right. The other side is wrong. We need to change them, not become like them. I mean, I don't become a jihadi. No, that's not sensible. So please don't call Hindus impotent. That's the worst thing you can call them. I don't know. I don't think Hindus are impotent. They might be stupid in some areas, but not impotent. Harsha, what do you think about educational reforms in India and how can India excel in a world-class education? Not an educational expert, man. I don't know. I honestly, I'm not the kind of guy who has an opinion on everything. It's not my field. I will not give an answer on that. I will bring someone who can answer that and educate you all about that. Do you think there will be any course correction on the economy because he's the same Modi under whom Gujarat experienced high growth? I think there will be. I think the kind of criticism that is going, they will backtrack. I don't know. I have a feeling they will. And you know what? It's just 3 months. Give them a year. Let things settle down. Then let's take a call. That's what I've been telling a lot of my friends who are calling Modi, Mao. Just give him a year in his second term on economics, nothing else. Anti-Brahmin sentiments in the country are on the rise. Don't you think it can snowball into something violent, especially like Vaman, Meshram and all fanning these sentiments? I think if social media violence does not transform into violence against Hindus or Muslims beyond a certain threshold, I don't think so it will happen against the Brahmins also. I think you need to stop taking all these social media violence and bigotry very seriously. I think social media has now become a space where people come and do their negativity. They get rid of their negativity and they move forward. It's like we are living two lives, including myself, by the way. Although I think I'm quite a sensible social media avatar, that's a separate thing, but I'm including myself for being fair. We are assholes on social media, nice people off it. That's how it is. So I think social media is just becoming the way it is. I'm all for pluralism, but if it is supposed to be a two-way street, absolutely, Blinky Blue. Absolutely, I agree. And I think we need to make people realize that. But we don't make people realize about pluralism by bullying them. We make them realize by reasoning with them. That's the only way. In fact, there was a very interesting analysis that the most successful movements that have gotten democracy and rights have been actually non-violent movements. My source is the book Savage Order. I wish I have the page on my cell phone, but I can't share the screen with y'all. Otherwise, I would have shared the study also. So, it's a serious study of movements across the globe. And guess what? Violent movements never get you anything. Non-violent movements like the Gandhian one or the Nelson Mandela one or the Martin Luther King one or many other such examples in the past and the present are actually the best way to move the conscience of most people. That's why I'm telling you, when I was 22, 23, I would be like, we have to fight, we have to be violent like any stupid young kid. I have realized time is the best healer. I got over my anger issues, all of that. Today, I realize the value of, self-defense, yes. But yes, we cannot be violent. We should not, support violence of any kind. Please bring an educational expert to help us get better understanding. Definitely, I'm actually looking to talk to a few education experts myself, and I'm going to work on that. What are your thoughts on Zakir Naik? He's a bigot. He's an idiot. Do I want him banned? I think he should be jailed for the crimes he's committed, but not free speech crimes. I think he's got some terrorism crimes. So that's where he should be jailed. I just think he's a terror sympathizer. Kushal, you cannot deny Brahmins abuse their place in the class system. Absolutely. I'm not denying that. The Brahmins did some bad things and, they are getting hurt where they are getting hurt. But doesn't mean we beat Brahmins up today. What has the Brahmin today got to do with what happened in the past? But that's just the logic applies to white people, it applies to Brahmins, it applies to anybody who had a past where the group they are supposedly born into committed some atrocities. So we can't blame Brahmins today for what happened in the past. That's stupid. Do you think Tulsi is getting some traction? She practically destroyed Kamala Harris in that debate. I don't know, man. Maybe. I've not seen the poll figures. I mean, what does that real clear politics say? I've not read it. My thoughts on medical marijuana or even its recreational use. I believe recreational or medical marijuana should be legalized. I believe it works better when things are not prohibited. Prohibition has never worked, and it will never work. So David says Gandhian pacifism is a lie. Actually, David, you're wrong. You should read studies. I'm not saying pacifism is the right strategy. I'm saying non-cooperation and non-violent movements in general work better. There's studies to prove that. I'm just saying you don't have to agree with me. What do you think should be the main priority right now? Population control or uniform civil code? I think uniform civil code ले आओ यार अपने आप. See, uniform civil code, secular education, modernity, liberalism, right-wing economics. You do all these, you don't have to control the population. अपने आप birth rates गिरेंगे, अपने आप population control हो जाती है. You just have to make a nation educated, secular, modern, plural, whatever, etc., rich, and you get population control. Yeah, I could get Paranj pay for that. That's a good idea. Thanks for the suggestion. When General Maximilian emphasized that was Netaji that look, I don't want to get into whether Netaji got us independence or Gandhi. I'm not saying only Gandhi got us independence. Even Bhagat Singh had a role to play. Even Savarkar and Abhinav Bharat had a role to play. I am just stating what I came across in a study. I'm not saying it has nothing to do with the independence movement. I'm saying in general, movements which are within the framework of democracy and all those kinds of things, they work better. Obviously, it won't work against the ISIS-like state or a Chinese state, which is basically brutal. But if you are in a democracy, you don't need to be violent. It becomes counterproductive. I'm saying what would work in democratic nations like India. पाकिस्तान में नहीं चलेगा, उधर मार देते हैं. बट हम पाकिस्तान थोड़ी ना है, हमको तो हमारे कंट्री में करना है ना. नहीं तो माओइस्ट सक्सेसफुल क्यों नहीं हो रहे? वो सबसे वायलेंट है. इंडिया में क्यों नहीं सक्सेसफुल हो रहे? उनका पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू क्यों नहीं कोई लेता? थिंक अबाउट इट. What should be the standard for deciding which substance should be banned or not? The libertarian position would be to allow everything. I think that's my position. Have you read any Thomas Sowell book? Yeah, I only have read one. I've not read a lot of them. What do you think about the absence of word kafirophobia while Islamophobia is such a popular term? Well, you need to make the word Islamophilia popular. Islamophilia क्या है? ये Google कर लेना. It is a term introduced by Douglas Murray in his book The Strange Death of Europe. You guys need to study that. I'm not going to explain here. You guys can Google what is Islamophilia. South Indian history is not given its importance in textbooks. Yeah, I agree. We should give more importance to that. In fact, I believe history textbooks should be sourced to the state governments completely. The central should not play any part. State governments should decide their curriculum, while the center should stay. These 10 national heroes should be mentioned, something of that sort. Beyond that, boss, what your history books cover should be a state subject, so that every state child knows more about their state heroes, and we can have 10 to 15 national heroes which are cutting across everywhere. That's my suggestion. Your thoughts on Rajiv Malhotra? Is he legit? I mean, depends on the subject. I mean, if he is promoting Swami Nityananda, then he's not legit. But if he's writing a book like Being Different, he's legit. It depends. I don't have blanket, and who am I to say he's legit or illegitimate, man? I've worked with him in the past. I liked him at that point of time. I don't approve his methods in the way he deals. I think sometimes his handling with people is not appropriate, but all in all, his heart is in the right place. I have a ton of respect for him. I just don't agree with his views on multiple issues. And it's that I think he's a nice guy. So I don't know. I mean, that's my views. Do you notice the caste of people in public life and holding offices like cricket team, cabinet ministers, people holding influence and control over the country? Have Brahmins benefited from some sort of privilege or upper caste? Yes. Are they benefiting today? I don't know. I mean, we have reservations in place, so government offices, so you can't say that. I mean, reservations are there, right? Almost up to the creamy layer. So there, it doesn't really matter. So beyond that, I really don't care. So somebody said cocaine include, yeah, even heroin. Just okay, do one thing. I will recommend a book. Let me just open my Kindle on my phone. I'll recommend a book. Open your mind. Read that book. I will. I don't know if this one, my cell phone Kindle has that. My wish list. My Kindle on my. I forgot that man's name, yaar. I'm so sorry. Johann, yeah, Johann something tha wo. And he has written a book on depression and things, and he has studied how I think it was Portugal and Sweden that have actually legalized even heroin and controlled it under government recommendations, and how their usage has basically plummeted. So yeah, prohibition doesn't work, man. Human beings are tede. You say नहीं करना, लोग सबसे ज्यादा करते हैं. उनको छोड़ दो. Do you think India can be a $5 trillion economy by 2025, or it is just a pipe dream? I don't know. Again, economics. I don't have an answer. Look, I can't. I mean, I'll be giving you a guesstimate or an emotional answer. What's the point of such a stupid emotional answer? Makes no sense, right? I mean, I think I don't know enough to give an intelligent answer to you. Should Brahmins now demand repatriation from Muslims for the genocides and oppression of their forefathers did to them by this logic? No, they should not. What is your view on Abhinandan Sekhri, who was recently owned by Abhishek Mitra? Abhinandan Sekhri is what I call Mucho Wala uncle. I don't know, man. I don't have an opinion about him. I don't waste my time on him. He's not that special. Who cares about him? Do you agree with the logic of all communities should be represented in public services? This is a flawed reason for giving reservations to OBC. I don't support the reservation for OBC. I've always been a strong supporter of pre-mandal reservations for SCs and STs. Other than that, nobody deserves a reservation. There is no real harm done. Baki, just follow the, what you call, meritocratic model. Only SCs and STs, nobody else. Do you think India is undergoing a sexual revolution right now, which no one is talking about? I don't know. What do you mean by sexual revolution? Do you follow true Indology? No. I don't know. Recommend any interesting YouTube channel to follow. You can follow Sham Sharma. You can follow Vidwits. You can follow, I don't know. Let me see. Subscription. I mean, if you're an MMA fan, you can follow क्या बोलते हैं इसको ESPN MMA. You can follow Powerful JRE, opindia.com's YouTube channel. You can follow Luke Thomas, again, another MMA channel. If you're a boxing fan, you can follow Rami's Corner. And that's about it. I think I've given you enough recommendations. I'm YouTube, I follow more sports kind of things. Yours. Where did it go? Oh, your scolding of the Twitter guy was savage, daring him to come to your place. Look, it's very clear. I don't like when people give indirect violent threats. If you want to give me a violent threat, come and meet me. If you want some, come and get some. I vehemently oppose violence, but if somebody is going to threaten me, I'm not going to back off. That's my simple thing. I think that guy threatened me. He was unnecessarily threatening me. You threaten me, come and get some. That's a very simple thing. When will be Article 35? I don't know, man, about Article 35. Thoughts on Unnao case, misuse of power. It's ridiculous. BJP was atrocious. Now they removed that Sanger guy. I mean, it's atrocious. BJP has been appalling in the entire case. Appalling. BJP should be given 20 times more shit than it has already gotten. Okay. Youngsters are more open to premarital sex, love marriages, open relationships, which was blasphemous a decade ago. I think premarital sex is fine, love marriages are fine, it's good. India is becoming more open as a society, but I still don't think arranged marriages are evil. If if you think I will say that, no, I actually have no problems with arranged marriages. Arranged marriages are like sulja what Tinder. That's what I call arranged marriages. Sulja what Tinder. I have not tried any mixed martial arts yet, but yeah, I am balls deep into MMA. In fact, that's my first sport that I watch every time. Like, I'm an MMA obsessed nut. Okay, thoughts on online reactionaries, as in what? Mold bug distributors. मेरे को समझ नहीं पड़ा चरण साई. I can't understand that. Can you explain further? I'm just going to take a couple of questions because it's been an hour and a half. Your thoughts on Ben Shapiro? Smart. I don't agree with his religious views. Other than that, very smart guy. I like him. Sham said on his show that Indians have an inferiority complex. Do you agree? Yes, and it stems from a post-traumatic stress disorder from 1,000 years of invasions. Indians don't have an inferiority complex. I think Hindus have an inferiority complex first. That's my conclusion. Hindus suffer from a PTSD, a societal PTSD. So that's what I'm doing. So I guess it's 10:25, man. Okay, one last question. Blinky Blue. Guys, I'm going to end it after this because it's been an hour and a half. My throat's paining now. On the Vidu podcast, you said Muslims will go towards apostasy more often now. Do you still hold that opinion? Absolutely. Just look at the virus of atheism that is spreading in the Islamic world. You guys are just in your social media echo chambers. Look at the amount of downloads, the God Delusion, Richard Dawkins' book. The Arabic version has gotten in the Islamic world. You'll be surprised. Atheism is spreading like wildfire. It is crazy. Believe me, dheere dheere karke it's going to spread. Atheism and all secular liberal values are going to follow. I mean, it takes time. Hindu rationalist, I missed your question. Okay, where was it? Can't we deport Pakistani sympathizer Kashmiris and get Pakistani Hindus in return? No, we cannot. They're born here. We cannot deport them by. That's not a reason to deport people. Moldberg has a concept called the cathedral, which is in short is the society's consensus mechanism, like a zeitgeist or something. I don't know what you're trying to say. You know what? I'm going to stop here now, guys. It's actually my throat is paining now. It's 1 hour and 30 minutes. I hope I was able to answer all your questions. If I disappointed you, I am sorry. I have a limitation now. I can't speak more than that. Think about the things that I've left you with. Go through the screen shares that I have given today. Think about it a while. Think about what the words I use, immutable characteristics. Think whether halal should be allowed or not. Think about these things. And as usual, I would like to first thank all the people for the super chats. It was really, really amazing, the kind of support you guys have given me. And if you like what I'm doing, please share the podcast, the monologues, like the channel, talk about my ideas with more people, and like I'll try to start the offline chats again and again. And yes, 99.99% Ramesh, the Op India podcast will be there. And on that note, namaste, take care, goodbye, good night. See you next time.